I've got 20 seeds that I need to sow in the month of July, and all 20 will give us harvests before Christmas. Gardeners think of July as a harvest period, lots to harvest, and indeed that's true. There is much to harvest in our no dig Norfolk garden at this time of the year. But we often think of a hungry gap that comes between sort of late March and June. But there can be another one in early autumn if you don't take action now. A good vegetable gardener is always thinking 6, 8, 10 weeks ahead. It's called succession planting. And if you can get into the mindset of thinking ahead, then you won't come up against any empty spots in your garden. As you take each harvest, being able to replace it with something keeps those harvests going. What goes in the ground this month will help bridge the gap between your summer harvests and your winter harvests. And do stick around until the end of the video, because there is one plant that many gardeners overlook, and it could be one of the most valuable plants that you put in your garden this July. We start with the vegetables that will give you the quickest return, and at this time of the year they germinate quickly and they grow quickly. The temperatures are warm and the days are still long in length, and what we don't want to do is to run out of these staples in the garden. We start with spinach. Spinach naturally wants to go to flower during the month of June. So by sowing it toward the end of July, you will get the maximum amount of harvest that you can get from this without the fear of it bolting as readily. It can still bolt if we get really hot weather like we've had over the last week. Lots of plants do. But in the main, July, August, September is not its time to set its seeds. And then of course there are the lettuces, of which there are many. We've already sown some of our cut and come lettuce and some of our Mizuna. They are two things that you can be sowing during the month of July. They keep the lettuce harvest going. You can see here that we have some lettuces that are not far away from us being able to eat. In fact, we've been picking some of the leaves off over the last few days. And they will keep going and giving us those harvests for the next few weeks. But we need something coming up behind them. Chicory is a good plant to sow during the month of July. Its rather bitter leaves actually go really well in salads. You don't want a whole bag of them, but mixed in with some of your sweeter salads really provides a good crunch and a really nice flavour. Chard. This month I shall be sowing some rainbow chard, and this chard, it will give us some harvest this year, but it will also overwinter, and we'll get harvest from this right the way up until next spring when it wants to rise to flower. It's a good alternative to spinach and looks absolutely stunning mixed with your salads. The old staple, spring onions. Keep sowing those every month, just another good pinch, and keep them going. We multi-sow ours. I have some here, and we shall now be starting to eat these. We have one or two others dotted about the garden as well. But to keep the continuity going, keep sowing every month right up until August. Turnips. I tend to sow these toward the end of the month, and they will give you harvest during late August and into early September. These will become a feature of the seed sowing months for the next 2 to 3 months, so that you get that continuity going. These are rather a lovely variety called Tokyo Cross. We take them small, they're tender, they can be grated, they can be cooked into casseroles, however you like to use your turnips. And it's another great variety where you can multi-sow them. 4 or 5 plants into your cell. You just keep taking the largest from the clump. July is a good time to sow your beetroot. If If you sow them, again, we multi-sow them. And if you sow them in July, you'll have nice large beetroot by the time we get to late autumn. Coriander. Coriander is a lot of people's nemesis. It features most months in the what to sow. Why? It will inevitably go to seed. Never mind about the heat wave we've just suffered, just normal summer temperatures will make this go to seed. So to keep sowing some every month will ensure that you always have some fresh coriander to be able to add to your recipes. Radish. Probably the quickest crop that you will get in your garden. Now some people advise that you don't want to be sowing the spring and summer radish types during the summer because the heat makes them even hotter. I have to say I haven't really found that. If you keep on top of your harvesting so that you harvest them at a smaller size, they're just nice and bite-sized, and I don't find that they get too hot. I don't ever like to be without radish. Even if they don't make it into the kitchen, Mrs. W is notorious for coming outside and just picking the radish to have a snack on. Harvesting alternative to radish. And July is the month to sow that. So mooli radish. We actually only started growing these last year, and they are a really lovely radish. They also get much larger than their spring, summer brothers and sisters. And they last really well and are a really valuable crop to have between October and December. What I don't do with these is to multi-sow them like I do the spring and summer types. These actually get much larger and need room on their own. But what I do tend to do to ensure that I get good germination is that I tend to sow 2 seeds per cell and then thin to the strongest seedling. If you want a guided version of this, something that will guide you through what to sow and when so that you get continuous harvests all through the year, our gardening app Grow Veg All Year Round is available. I'll leave a link in the description. These raspberries are looking amazing, Mrs. W.
Yeah, they transplanted very well, didn't they?
Oh yes.
I have been eating a few, I will confess.
So I see. The next section are brassicas. Now I'm often asked that, how do I get a Calabrese broccoli during the month of November? The answer is simple. It's now. If you sow your Calabrese now in July, they will produce heads late October and into November. And the bonus to that is that once you take the main head, you'll then get the side shoots that you can enjoy all through December, which is really welcome at that time of the year. We grow a variety called Marathon, and it just works really well for us. But yeah, a July sowing of Calabrese will ensure that you have nice fresh heads to be eating during late October and November. Kohlrabi, an underrated vegetable. It's actually really quite tasty. Produced bulbs that you eat rather than actually eating a headed sort of cabbage type vegetable, but it has a similar taste with a slightly nutty flavour. You sow them at this time of the year, they'll be ready late September, October, ready to add to your lovely casseroles and stews. At this time of the year, I also like to be sowing a few red cabbage. I have to confess, I'm not a particular lover of it, but Mrs. W, she does love her red cabbage.
I always make the braised red cabbage for Christmas.
Yes.
And my Christmas coleslaw, which is just Christmassy themed with the red cabbage instead of a white cabbage, but it's lovely.
One of her quirks, folks.
Yes.
Of which she has many.
Don't tell everybody.
And then kale. If you sow kale now, you'll be harvesting this from October all the way through to the following February and March. And then lastly, pak choi. That's been off the seed sowing menu for a little while. Far too hot for it. It can often bolt if you plant them out during the summer months. But what I would advise is sow them right at the very end of July, and then they won't get July's peak heat Once you transplant them out, we've just got a little bit of August where it may be a bit warm. And then we're starting to head towards the end of August and into September. They don't tend to bolt so much then. We've found in our own personal experience that the variety Yushu bolts less than a lot of the others. So that's the variety that we shall be using. And then there's the crops that many people are surprised that you can still sow. And July is a good time to do that. Now our alderman peas are coming to an end. We're still harvesting them. They'll go on harvesting for the next 2 to 3 weeks. But you can still sow peas at this time of the year. One of the best varieties you can actually sow is a variety called Terrain. In our opinion, they don't taste as good as the alderman, but hey ho, Mrs. W wants peas into the early autumn. She's going to have to put up with the Terrain. Runner beans. You can see our runner beans are doing really quite nicely. It'll soon be time to pinch the tops out on these. In fact, I can see one already, Mrs. W. That's already at the top of the arch.
It is, yeah.
So let's have the growing point out of that. Good practice to do that. It will make them bush out. Once they get to the height that you want them, they'll bush out. More laterals, gives more flowers, and means you'll get more beans. However, if you're one of the people that like to sow your beans early, these actually weren't sown until mid-May. Some people like to sow them in April, and they've actually got beans already. They will probably stop producing somewhere mid to late August. And actually during this heat wave you may have found that some of your legumes have suffered. And if they have, July is a good time actually to get a second crop in. And as your plants begin to go over, or your plants become stressed and are not looking so good, you can replace them with that second crop. These runner beans and French beans, they will continue cropping all the way through to the end of October in our garden, our Zone 9A garden. We certainly won't see a frost usually until mid to late November. And over the last few years, that's actually moved even further back, right the way into December. So we might as well use that time to actually get as many beans as we can. Carrots. We sowed our carrots for autumn and winter harvests back in midsummer. So a couple of weeks ago, already germinating, so we're really pleased with that. But you don't necessarily need to stop sowing your carrots after the 21st of June. You can still sow them through July, right the way up to the beginning of August. And I like to use a variety called Nonce. It's a quick maturing variety. If you're going to be using the bigger ones like the Eskimo we grow, then they're probably going to run out of time. But the Nonce carrot is a really quick growing variety. And toward the end of July, I actually like to sow some into our containers. And then a bit later on in the year, they will actually move undercover into the polytunnel to ensure that we have nice, small and flavoursome carrots at that time of the year. I've said this many times before, but I'm going to say it again, and that's dwarf French beans. They're your best friend at this time of the year, and you can sow them through July. Get them sown so that they're ready for you to pop in whenever any gaps appear. And you will get some gaps. And you can just pop them into the ground and get an extra crop of those lovely, slender French beans. I always think of them as my best friend at this time of the year. Now, I said that I would tell you what I consider to be one of the most valuable crops that you can have in your garden. And it's a crop that many people either forget about, don't know about it, or they just don't bother. We talked about it a bit earlier in the Brassica section, and it's actually kale. Kale is one of those crops that grows really successfully outside. They're not bothered by the cold. It would need to get really very, very cold before it affected those plants. And they give you harvest from October all the way through to next February and March with the July sowing. They're always there, and they just ensure that you do always have something fresh to harvest every other day. We grow two types, which is the Cavallonero and the dwarf kale. We were also very lucky that when we met Tony at the Malvern show back in spring, he gave us some seeds that were red Russian kale. Be pleased to know, Tony, that they have germinated well and they should be going into the ground really soon. So thank you for those. We're really looking forward to trying the red Russian kale. They withstand all kinds of weather, poor soils, and yet still they deliver. You don't have to do too much to them. Just keep them covered if you've got pigeon problems like we have, so that they can't peck at them. And every other day, come out and pick your oldest leaves, and it will keep throwing up new, small, delicate leaves that you can feast on. Remember, healthy soil equals healthy plants that give you bigger harvests. That works not just in February, but also in July and August and September. If you've enjoyed this video and got value from it, if you can just share it with one gardener or one gardening group, because I'm pretty sure that there are gardeners out there that don't realise or know how to go about eating food all year round and what you need to sow and have ready at that precise time. We would really love that. Also, don't forget to leave us a like and leave us your comments. Which are the first batch that you're going to be sowing this month? And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then why not hit that subscribe button? And then in that way you won't miss any uploads that we put out. We put a video out that showed you exactly what our no-dig garden looks like in the month of June and the harvest that we're getting from it. So if you're curious about just how well a no-dig garden can perform, why not watch that video next?